I came across a document that I was never meant to see. I have been unable to view the world in the same way again.
I must keep my background vague and the position I had secret, as it would reveal my identity too easily and I need to think of my family.
At 67 years of age, I have recently been diagnosed with incurable lung cancer, and I was content to take this knowledge to the grave. The recently bleak world events have changed my mind. Throughout my 30-year military career, I rose through the ranks and was eventually respected by both the forces and the government. After retiring, I was offered a role working with senior government officials, where I was trusted due to my integrity and experience. One of my main duties was to transfer classified documents from one party to another, always accompanied by another equally respected person due to protocol. I never really paid attention to the contents of what I was delivering, nor did I ever wonder what was written in between the hundreds of leather-bound articles. The next sequence of events seemed too coincidental to be a coincidence, but they happened nonetheless. I was instructed to deliver a single classified binder folder to the head of a department on the 3rd floor, and I was accompanied by a colleague named Charlie. Just as we were about to step into the elevator, a member of staff collapsed in front of us, and we helped them up and called for assistance. Moments later, as we stepped into the elevator, a man shouted over to us that Charlie had dropped his pass. Charlie went back to retrieve it, and I accidentally dropped the documents as my phone rang. I bent down to pick up the scattered pages as the elevator doors closed. I was stuck in between the 2nd and 3rd floor when the power cut out and the emergency lights came on. I continued to pick up the loose papers. Suddenly, the header of one of the pages caught my eye, and it read Project Camouflage. I couldn't help but glance over the contents, and what I read changed everything for me. The article stated that the current world population was only 1 billion people, while the rest were made up of synthetic beings whose sole purpose was to gather information. This information would be uploaded to a cloud as they slept. It went into great detail on how these beings were part of an advanced AI collective, which had been in development by top scientists since at least the 1970s with the help of others. The primary objective was to limit our impact to the planet and beyond. They were programmed to believe they were human. Their memories of being born, giving birth and any other key life elements were constantly updated. This intertwined with the natural population like a framework for seamless integration. The article ended with a statement requesting a full urgent investigation into a few 100,000 units experiencing anomalies. These seemed to be centralized and was spreading frantically through the AI network without explanation. I couldn't read anymore. I felt empty as I realized that everything around me had been manipulated in such a convoluted way. That the truth was hidden from me and the whole population. Control seemed to be the only reason in my eyes for such a disproportionate number of synthetic beings compared to natural-born humans. I could tell I was starting to have an existential crisis. I began questioning the world around me. I even doubted my whole life and many experiences, especially with the type of work that I was in. I gathered and transferred information.
I took a moment to compose myself and reordered the papers into the binder.
A few minutes later, the main power came back on, and the elevator doors opened as I reached the 3rd floor. My colleague was waiting for me, and we delivered the documents to the relevant party without saying a word. I left my position not long after this incident, unable to continue being connected to such a lie. I preferred to live in the reality that I had always known rather than face the truth. It has been 16 years since then, and I have been haunted by this terrifying knowledge every single day. I partly blame my experience for my marriage breakdown and consequent alcoholism. I have also never been able to share this information with anyone in person, as I knew that I would either be silenced or ridiculed. I can't help feeling that the state of the world at the moment is feeling the consequence of the few anomalies in that terrible document. As my days on this earth come to an end, I can finally share this burden with you all, even if it will inevitably be lost amongst the many other theories and posts that these types of statements normally are. I can only hope that in the future somebody else can share more details on what I witnessed on that stamped piece of paper. Writing this all back now has got me thinking. I never really did understand who the others that they referred to helping them in the article really were. Please take my words seriously. Remember, there is always truth buried between lies.